Content warning. This episode contains foul language and discussions of violence. Trigger warning. This episode includes discussions of sexual assault, rape, or molestation. Listener discretion is advised.
Hey, you know what you haven't talked about in a while?
No, I talk about a lot.
Oh, I know. But I haven't heard you talk about I-35 in a while.
Oh, thank you for reminding me, dude. I have some news.
Oh, do tell.
Okay, are you ready? Okay, guys, hold on to your butts.
Did you take that from another podcast?
Oops. Okay, sorry, y'all. I don't want a plagiarism scandal, but okay, hold on to your buttholes.
Your anuses?
Your ani?
Rectums?
Blowholes?
Derriere? Fanny? Patootie? Bobo?
Hold on to your poop shooters, y'all. I have a big update on I-35.
Okay, I am holding on to my backside.
Are you ready?
I have toilet paper in my hand, holding on to my gluteus maximus.
Okay, so the big news about I-35 is...
Oh, I'm so excited!
Is that nothing has changed at all. There is no news.
Oh, wow! That's so exciting.
I mean, I'm sure it is for all of those out-of-towners that are coming to visit family this year.
Yeah, they can't appreciate the normalcy that is the random cars catching fire in the middle of the highway.
I'm sure it's a spectacle to everyone else, but for us...
It's just another day in the life of I-35.
Speaking of the dumpster fire that is that fucking highway, aren't you talking about a highway today?
Yes, the I-5 killer.
Oh.
And I almost didn't do this episode, but I found that you did not know about this case.
Nope, I am excited to hear you talk about it.
All right, well, get ready. Hold on to your dookie boosters.
That's... so much poop. That's...
Oh my gosh.
Oh my god. I wrote that, guys. That's a new one.
Oh my gosh. Well, welcome to A Voracious Violence.
Oh man. You know what? After that intro, when I think of a voracious violence, I think of what happens after you eat Taco Bell.
What is up with you and the butt stuff?
I don't know. We all have issues at one point or another.
Is this another callback to that whole cultural Activia drama back in episode 13?
Dude, I'm telling you, always trust your gut. And when your gut says something is wrong, you might just need a good probiotic.
Wow. That
was an unintentional dad joke. All right, so I-5 killer.
Yes.
Okay.
So, Randall Woodfield was born December 26, 1950 in Salem, Oregon. The third child of an upper-class middle family.
Oh, wow.
Middle family.
Yeah, an upper middle family class. Basically, he was a Christmas baby.
Yep. But some of the things he did was not in the spirit of Christmas.
Well, yeah.
So his mother was a homemaker. His father was an executive at Pacific Northwest Bell.
Telling you, P&W.
Right? So many coincidences happening.
So many coincidences.
So he has two older sisters. One went on to become a doctor. The other went on to become an attorney.
Okay.
The Woodfield family was a very respected family in their area.
Like I said, I'm finding some weird coincidences. You know, you mentioned Christmas and P&W, and we have a thing next week.
Yep. Basically, this is the perfect pre-winter episode.
Ooh.
So Randall was a football star at Newport High School.
Hold on.
And-
I smoke Newports. That's another coincidence. Okay, continue.
If you guys can see the faces I make at Courtney sometimes.
I do it because in this cruel, sick, sad fucking world, I need to at least cause one smile, and that will just make my life whole.
You make
And
me
I don't
smile every day.
And I don't mean like a nasty, like gaping Shelly No-Tech hole. I'm talking about like make the look she's giving me right now. I mean like makes me feel warm and fuzzy in my heart is when I make others smile. So yeah.
You know what? You know what else was warm and fuzzy?
What's up?
Randall's childhood.
Wow, great segue. Okay.
He began to his childhood was a pretty stable one. He began to exhibit sexually dysfunctional behaviors though. During junior high.
Okay.
His specialty was exposing himself in public.
Okay, I'm totally judging, and that's fine. Did you like how I just gave myself permission to judge? I'm judging, and that's fine. But it's always weird when it's fine. It's totally fine. Totally fine. But it's always weird to me when people just randomly expose themselves. It's like, I didn't invite you to show me your dick, so please don't show me your dick.
I concur. 100% concur.
Yep. I don't want to see it.
Anyway, while in high school, Randall exposed himself to a group of teenage girls and was arrested for indecent exposure. His football coaches helped conceal the incident to prevent him from being kicked off the team, but his parents did make him go to therapy after that incident.
I mean, good on the parents, but wow. Football coaches, am I right?
No joke. They always do shit like this.
Yep.
So after graduating from high school, Randall's criminal record was expunged and he attended Treasure Valley Community College in Ontario, Oregon.
Okay.
Later in 1970, he transferred to Portland State University where he played for the Portland State Vikings as a wide receiver.
Mm-hmm.
At Portland State, he was active in Campus Crusade for Christ, which he was a Christian, it was a Christian student group. And he also lived in an apartment near the campus.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's already taken a lot of boxes. Religious influence, football coaches hiding his bullshit, and an expunged criminal record. Okay.
Setting it up here.
Mm-hmm.
So Gary Hamblet, he was Randall's football coach, recalled, quote, "When he was with me, he was the nicest, most gentlemanly kid I ever knew. He was quiet and polite, hardworking, and real coachable. Other teammates and peers of Randall recalled him as, quote, soft-spoken and kind of a loner, one who didn't really have a lot of friends."
Right, but that doesn't give him a free pass to do whatever fucked up shit he did. I don't know what he did yet. So I mean, I know he, like, exposed himself and shit, but I'm wanting to know what else.
Yeah, this guy was no good.
Yeah, no, fuck him. I already don't like him, period.
No,
but
we don't like this guy.
Yeah, okay.
We really don't like this. So
fuck,
Randall
fuck
was
you,
arrested.
Randall. I don't know you, Randall, but fuck you.
Now, this one gets me heated on a few times.
Okay.
So I don't like Randall. I'm sorry.
Well,
I'm not sorry. I'm not sorry.
No, you know what? No. Amanda and I are not apologists or sympathizers for these fuckbags. And if people want to hate on us for that, go listen to some shitty podcast.
Ass Pat.
I said it.
Anyway, Randall was arrested on several occasions for petty crimes. First in 1970 for vandalizing the apartment of his ex-girlfriend, and later in 1972 for public indecency, and again in 1973 for, guess,
public indecency. Okay. Randall, I'm gonna need you to keep your pants on. So we don't want to see your dick. Nobody wants to see it.
Everyone to see it.
Well, nobody else wanted everybody to see it. So fucking Randall, no,
I don't want to see it.
We don't want to see it. I don't think our listeners want to see it either. Nobody wants to fucking see your dick. Put your dick back. Put your dick back.
So some fellow teammates and coaches had memories of Randall. They really vary.
Okay.
Some remember him as quiet and odd, quoting, he didn't really fit in, said by Anthony Studemeyer, who was a freshman quarterback in 1973.
Okay.
He, quote, he'd make out of the blue, off-the-wall statements. Studemeyer's brother Charles was a halfback on the team, and he recalls Randall for his prettiness.
Oh.
Quoting, Randall was always grooming himself. That even carried over to the way he played. He seemed to like, he was more interested in looking cute out there than getting the job done.
Man, I know people like that. Ugh. I'm not saying everyone who dresses pretty or looks nice is just self-involved. I mean, I'm just simply saying that there's people that think that they can get by on looks alone, and unfortunately, that seems to be the case. It fucking sucks.
Yeah, I highly dislike people like that who are just very self-involved, egomaniacs.
Yep.
But Randall chose to drop out of college 3 semesters shy of graduating with his bachelor's. Pretty dumb.
Yep.
In physical education, and was selected as a wide receiver in the 1974 NFL draft by the Green Bay Packers in the 17th round. Okay. That's a whole bunch of info if you guys know football.
Yeah, I don't, but anyway.
He signed a contract in February of 1974, but was cut during training camp. So he did not make the team's final roster.
Man, I bet that was a blow to his ego.
Yep. After being cut by the Packers, he played the 1974 season with the semi-pro Manitowoc Chiefs, which is our first fun fact of this evening.
Okay.
This would be the setting for the Netflix documentary Making a Murderer.
Oh, snap. I really need to finish that documentary. I'm having a hard time with it, though, because it's just starting out kind of slow, and I want all the information, but at the same time, I want to know what happened. Like, I want to know everything about what happened.
I never finished it either. Yeah. I keep getting stuck, and I just kind of forget about it, to be honest. Mm-hmm. But I do want to go back and finish it. It was an interesting story. You need to finish it with me.
All right, I'll have to do that.
All right, so teammates from his team recalled Rando as a smooth operator, a ladies' man, but a bit strange. Fred Auclair was a teammate and roommate. He recalls Randall bringing home a trinket he had acquired at a local Christian bookstore.
Okay.
And he said, how much was that? When Fred asked Randall, he replied with, well, it really wasn't for sale, so I just stole it.
Oh, God.
He's one of those. Fred also said that Randall was, quote, on the phone all the time, telling tall tales. He had a woman in every port, it seemed, end quote.
Why are most of us attracted to creepers? Like, I wonder if it's a psychological thing. I mean, I've noticed that a lot of women go for men that have that creepy ass factor. There's got to be something there. There's got to be something to that that's like psychological. I mean, that's probably going to be the next thing I'm going to research on my spare time.
You should.
Yeah,
I'd like some answers too.
I want to fucking know. Like, why do women like creepy men?
A lot of women go for the bad boys.
Yeah, but I'm not talking about bad boys. I'm talking about like,
why do we just like gravitate towards these psychopaths?
Do you remember? I mean, no disrespect to those of you who like Rodney Dangerfield, but that guy had a creep factor. Let's be real here. But women liked him. Like, why? What is up with that shit?
I don't know. I don't understand it. So, a similar arrest in Portland earned him more suspended time in June of 1973. And in 1974, after a dozen flashing incidents.
Keep your fucking pants on.
Attention. Right? A dozen.
God.
So, this got the attention of the Packers, and they formally cut him from the NFL.
Bye, Randy. So, bye. Packers don't fucking need you anyway.
No. Apparently, he really wasn't that good.
Apparently wanted to show his dick to everybody.
Yeah. No, that's what he was concentrated on.
Put your dick back.
Keep it in your pants, dude. All right. So, Randall left Wisconsin in late 1974 and returned to Portland. Boo.
Aww.
Probably feeling pretty bad himself for getting cut from the NFL. I'm pretty sure his family didn't like that too much either.
Probably not.
No. And in early 1975, several Portland women were held at knife point by a man and forced to perform oral sex, and then robbed of their handbags.
Oh, wow.
Police responded to the string of crimes by having female police officers act as decoys.
And I bet it didn't stop there, huh?
Nope. On March 3rd, 1975, Randall was arrested once again after being caught with marked money from one of the undercover officers.
Okay.
And upon interrogation, he confessed to the crimes, blaming poor sexual impulse control,
blah, blah, blah,
which he claimed was a result of his use of steroids.
Of course, it's never their own fault. They gotta fucking blame something or somebody else. Always.
Mm-hmm. Always. And in 1975, he pled guilty to reduced charges of a second-degree robbery. He was sentenced to 10 years in prison, and he was freed on parole in July 1979 after serving 4 years.
Smooth move. Also, now I'm really fixated on bowel movements again, so for a really smooth move, try Activia.
Courtney, do you need a bathroom break?
No, not yet.
Because you're literally talking shit.
Yeah, but I can hold it. Okay, continue.
One of his other favorite pastimes was sending naked photos of himself to women.
Oh, God. Put your fucking dick back. Yeah. Nobody wants to see it.
In late 1979, Randy was photographed naked, his muscles very oiled down.
I'm literally seeing this in like early 80s television type of format in my brain. You know what I'm talking about? And that just somehow makes that more gross.
Right? So he mailed the image to Playgirl for consideration. The following May, he did receive a letter back saying, "Congratulations, you've been selected for possible publication in the Playgirl's Guy Next Door feature." And Randall waited for his photo shoot, and that's when the police believe he began to murder.
Man, that should have said, "Congratulations, you have not been selected for any possible publication in Playgirl's Guy Next Door feature. Please just stay put. Don't send us your pictures anymore. We don't want to see that. Did you really oil yourself? And put your dick back." That's going to be our new sign-off, is put your dick back.
Damn it, Randall. All right, so during his 4-year imprisonment, he had a childhood friend, Cherie Lynn Ayers, and they had corresponded through letters.
Okay.
Cherie was an X-ray technician, and on October 9th, 1980, she was raped and murdered in her apartment in Portland. Her body was discovered on October 11th by her fiancé. She had been beaten and stabbed repeatedly in the neck.
That's incredibly sad and fucked up.
Yeah, which breaks my heart.
Yeah.
Cherie had known Randall since second grade. They attended the same schools in Newport. Cherie's family suspected Randall and provided his name to law enforcement.
Good.
He was questioned, but refused to sit for a polygraph test.
Oh, God.
Homicide detectives found his answers generally, quote, evasive and deceptive. But because his blood type did not match the semen found in the victim's body, no charges were filed.
I mean, I think he did it, though. Please tell me I'm wrong. If he did that, wow, that's his childhood friend. Not that it's any better if it weren't, but still, that's just, I don't fucking know.
My gut tells me he did it.
He had to have. I mean, maybe the blood type and the semen doesn't match up, but that's just an odd fucking coincidence.
Maybe she had a date. Maybe she slept with her fiance before that.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, we don't know. I mean, hell, maybe he didn't do it, but it's a big coincidence here.
Really big coincidence.
So 1 month later, on the morning of November 27th, that's my birthday.
Oh.
Randall arrived at the Portland home of Darcy Renee Fix, who was 22 years old.
Didn't we have another Darcy?
Darcy was
Gary Brutus's wife.
Yeah.
That's fucking weird. What is up with all of these coincidences?
So many.
Good Lord.
It's how I pick my cases.
Jeez.
In an area.
Oh my gosh. But
I didn't catch that one.
What was going on with Darcy, though?
All right, so he went over there planning to assault her.
Okay.
He had known Darcy during college as an ex-girlfriend of one of his close friends.
Mm-hmm.
And when Randall arrived at Darcy's house, Douglas Altig I think how you say it.
Okay.
He was there. Both Darcy and Douglas were bound and shot to death, execution style, in the home.
Fucking A.
Darcy's gun was missing from the scene as well. Due to his acquaintance with Darcy, Randall was questioned about the murders. But law enforcement found no concrete evidence proving his involvement.
What a bizarre coincidence, and how incredibly fucked up at the same time.
So now 2 people he knows have been murdered.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yes. So
anyway, yeah,
crazy.
let's pause here for a brief bathroom break.
Bathroom break.
Killafornia Dreaming is a true crime podcast launched in 2017 that delves into the dark side of the Golden State and sometimes beyond. Born and raised in California, I not only cover the crimes that have fascinated me over the years, but the ones that have fascinated you as well. With a backlog of hundreds of episodes and bonuses and dozens more on Patreon, you'll have countless hours to binge. And with soothing music and a unique, quiet intensity, you might just be lulled to sleep. Almost every episode is over an hour long, ad-free, with no loud bursts of music or audio clips. Killafornia Dreaming is available on all your favorite directories, so hit subscribe and give it a try. It just might be your new go-to bedtime podcast.
Hey there, Rainbow Warriors. I'm CJ, host of Beyond the Rainbow, True Crimes of the LGBT. My episodes focus on crimes committed by and against the LGBTQ community. I've covered cases you probably have heard of, such as Matthew Shepard, Brandon Tina, and the Orlando Pulse nightclub massacre, as well as some lesser-known cases like the murder of Ray Hainish, the Australian gay beat murders, and the suspicious disappearance of Lisa Lynn Stone. I cover cases brought to me by listeners like Penny Brummer, who I believe was wrongfully convicted, taboo cases such as lesbian corrective rape and murder in South Africa, and Pray the Gay Away camps. I discuss gay serial killers, women who pretend to be men to hook up with other women, and trans murders. I'm opinionated and uncensored. I know I'm not everyone's cup of tea, but surely I'm someone's shot at tequila. No matter what your gender or orientation in life might be, please join me as I tackle rainbow crimes in search of unicorn justice. Remember, it's not a crime to be gay, unless you're a murderer.
Okay.
So, prior to the break, we so far have covered a total of 3 deceased.
Okay.
After committing the murders of Darcy and Douglas, Randy began a series of robberies throughout the Northwest, and on December 9th, 1980, while wearing a fake beard, he held up a Vancouver, Washington gas station at gunpoint. In Eugene, Oregon, 4 nights later, on December 13th, he raided an ice cream parlor.
Oh.
And on December 14th, he robbed a drive-in restaurant in Albany.
Oh my gosh.
During one of the robberies, he wore what appeared to be a Band-Aid or athletic tape across the bridge of his nose. Kind of similar to like the nasal strips worn by football players.
Yeah, yeah.
And on December 21st, Randy, again, wearing a fake beard, forced a waitress into a restaurant bathroom and forced her at gunpoint to give him a hand job.
Oh, Randall, you are just doing too much. Like, you are at a 10. Need you to take it to a 2.
Take it to a 0.
Take it to a -2, okay? Like, get your dick back.
Oh,
okay.
almost. Oh my gosh. I'm here. So, almost all of his victims were mostly the same type. He liked petite Caucasian women in their late teens or early 20s. Gross.
Yeah.
Man.
That's insane.
Yeah. And by January 1981, law enforcement had named him the I-5 Bandit, given his apparent preference for committing crimes along the Interstate 5. in his 1974 Champagne Edition gold Volkswagen Beetle.
Okay, again, it's a callback to the other episode. I'm envisioning those gold-plated coin-looking pinky rings and disco suits and weird oily men.
See, I just see him and like Ted Bundy, like passing each other on the high, like giving high fives. They're both in the same time, same area. Both drove Beetles.
But
isn't this kind of creepy?
A little bit crazy.
Both insane. So you're not far off the track, though. By the way.
Okay.
On January 8th, he held up the same Vancouver gas station he had robbed in December, this time forcing a female attendant to expose her boobies after he emptied the cash register.
That's no, man, just stop.
You're right? Seriously something wrong. 3 days later, on January 11th, he robbed a market in Eugene.
Okay.
The next day, he shot and wounded a female grocery clerk at a store in Oregon. January 14th, a man matching the description of the I-5 bandit, wearing a false beard, broke into a home occupied by two sisters, ages 8 and 10.
Oh,
He forced the girls to undress, and he sexually assaulted them.
Man, those poor babies. Did they make it out alive though?
I believe they did. I found nothing about.
That's good if they
the way they made it sound.
That's good if they did. That's like
tormented.
That's a lifetime of therapy.
Yeah, thank God they lived through this.
Yeah,
but those poor babies were never the same. So 4 days later in Salem, Oregon, a man matching the same description entered an office building and sexually abused two women, Sherry Hull and Beth Wilmot, after which he killed Sherry and wounded Beth, leaving her for dead. On January 26th and 29th, he traveled to Southern Oregon and committed robberies in Eugene, Medford, and Grants Pass. In the latter location, two females, a clerk, and a customer were assaulted as well.
But see, look, that's all near my birthday.
It's fucking birthday, man.
It's fucking crazy.
On February 3rd, 1981, the bodies of Donna Eckerd, who was 37, and her 14-year-old daughter were found together in a bed in their home at Mountain Gate, California. Each had been shot several times in the head. Forensic tests show that the young girl had also been sexually assaulted.
That's just incredibly fucking sad.
Yeah. The same day, a female store clerk was kidnapped and raped in a holdup. An identical crime was reported in, I don't even know how you say that.
We're going to guess.
Yreka.
We're just going to guess Eureka, and if we're wrong, we apologize.
I think you're right. So it was reported in Eureka on February 4th with the same man robbing an Ashland, Oregon motel that night.
What the fuck, man? This dude is like determined. And you know what? You almost did not want to do this episode.
I know. I honestly just, to me, it's like one of those big ones.
Yeah. And I mean, thank goodness that your son was like, talking about Roger, which we'll get into in another episode. That was freaking awesome. But thank goodness I was like, and you were like, I think that's the I-5 killer. And I'm like, just do it. Just do it. Thank goodness. Thank goodness for your son. Thank you.
Yep. Jacob's the reason for this case.
Thanks, Jacob. Thank you.
The bad one. All right. So, here's another coincidence.
Okay.
5 days later in Corvallis,
a
man matching the I-5 bandit's description held up a fabric store, molesting the clerk and her customer before he left. On February 12th, 1981, robberies committed by a man matching the same description occurred in 3 more cities in Washington, 2 of which incidences included 3 sexual assaults.
For once, I'm speechless. So.
Randall boy decided to plan a Valentine's Day party in downtown Portland at the Marriott Hotel, inviting a lot of friends and acquaintances from college.
Because of course he would.
And after nobody came, Randall drove to the home of 18-year-old Julie Wright.
Sure. Well, yeah.
who he had met while working as a bouncer at the Faucet, a bar in Portland.
Okay.
He arrived at her home around 2 a.m. on February 15th and sat there for a couple hours.
Right.
And around 4 a.m., he raped and then shot Julie in the head, killing her. Police investigating the scene determined that Julie had a glass of wine with her attacker and had also begun to prepare coffee. The package of instant coffee was discovered on the kitchen counter, and water in the kettle had been left to completely boil away.
Randall, instead of stealing people's fucking lives and livelihoods, how about take what you can fucking get and appreciate that someone wanted to be your friend, you fuckbag?
He's so sickening.
Ugh.
And by February 28th, the investigation was now focused on Randall.
Good.
But by the I-5, Bandit had struck 3 more times in Eugene on February 18th and 21st. And with another sexual assault in Corvallis on February 25th.
Wow.
Detectives in Marion County assembled a call log showing Randall had placed calls using calling cards at payphones near the murder sites around the times that they were committed.
And not a minute too soon. I'm not going to go on record, or I am going to go on record and say that they were way too lenient on him in the first place.
Absolutely.
Fucking A.
And, it infuriates me.
I'm pissed, man.
This went on so long. On March 5th, 1981, Randall was brought into the Salem Police Department for an interrogation after Lisa Garcia positively identified him in a photo lineup.
Thank you, Lisa.
His apartment in Springfield, Oregon was searched 2 days later with a warrant.
Okay.
Inside, law enforcement discovered a shell casing matching a missing gun inside a racquetball bag, as well as a roll of tape that matched the tape found on the victims.
Okay, so I'm not a psychologist, but I'm going to go ahead and glean from this that he's not a typical murderer or serial rapist. Like, he left so much fucking evidence everywhere. He was really messy and disorganized. He didn't really have an age preference at all. His MO was white females, and the murders typically started with, actually even younger than a 14-year-old. I mean, am I right? Yeah. So he wasn't, like, mentally unstable. He knew what he was doing. He just didn't give a shit.
He had pretty much a narcissistic type personality, which basically allows for no empathy and a big need for power, in a sense. He was able to overpower his victims and would get what he wanted. Throw them away, move on to the next. Pretty typical of NPD. So, yes, mentally unstable if he had NPD, but very aware of his actions.
Yeah.
The only thing, though, is I don't think he had a need for these victims to worship the ground he walked on, but I don't know.
Got it. Same page.
On March 7th, Randall was taken into custody after being positively identified by several Oregon robbery victims. And on March 16th, indictments for murder, rape, sodomy, attempted kidnapping, armed robbery, illegal possession of firearms were all initiated from various jurisdictions in Washington and Oregon.
Randall, again, you're still doing too fucking much.
Yep. In the summer of 1981, Randall was tried in Salem for the murder of Sherry Hull, as well as charges of sodomy and attempted murder of Beth Wilmot, who testified against him in the trial and was key in this prosecution's conviction. Conviction.
Yeah, we got it. But good.
Oh, another fun fact.
Oh, there's two.
We got 2 fun facts this week. Chris Van Dyke, son of actor Dick Van Dyke.
Oh, wow.
Was the Marion County, Oregon District Attorney at the time and prosecuted this case.
Wow. Cool.
Yep. So Chris Van Dyke would later go on to say that Randall was, quote, the coldest, most detached defendant I've ever seen.
Okay, so anti-personality or antisocial personality disorder then.
Probably mixed with narcissism.
Yeah.
I think they go hand in hand, actually, but again, we aren't psychologists.
True, but I mean, it's still fascinating because we're learning from all these cases the similarities and the differences. And one of the similarities is both NPD or APD.
Boom.
Mm-hmm.
And on June 26, 1981, after 3.5 hours of deliberation, Randall was convicted on all counts and sentenced to life in prison plus 90 years.
Oh, good.
90.
Good.
And in October 1981, a second trial was held in Benton County, Oregon, in which Randall received sodomy and weapons charges tied to one of the attacks in a restaurant bathroom.
Aw, poor baby. He never made it to the Playboy Boy Next Door, or Playgirl, sorry, Boy Next Door feature, or he never made it to the Packers. Oh, baby.
Oh, poor baby.
Yeah.
No. Randall's calendar was packed chock full, and he was too busy because he was convicted by the jury and had an additional 35 years added to his already instated sentence.
What a shame.
What a shame.
Oh.
Despite the apparent links with countless other crimes and homicides, Asshat would not be prosecuted for the majority of the crimes he did commit.
I mean, that really sucks, but it's good that he at least got prosecuted for some of them, because now he's never getting out, and it still sucks because some of those people didn't get their closure, which really upsets me because I think everybody deserves closure.
They do. So, this is a letter that I found from Randall to the author Jennifer Ferriero, who wrote a really good book called The Serial Killer Letters.
Okay.
A penetrating look inside of the minds of murderers.
Okay.
It really shows his personality and like unstable he really was.
Well, I guess I'm going to have to go get that on Audible then, because I've got a couple of credits I need to use up, so cool.
Yeah.
Something to listen to at work. So.
Yeah. All right, so ready?
Yep.
Here's the letter. It says, "Hello again. Okay, truce it is. I wasn't upset or angry. It just came out as such. I'm always very defensive, and it is natural in this walled city. So chill and accept my apology. I was just perturbed about going behind my back to Timothy Akins, who is a fellow in is who he's talking about. And you never answered my questions, or cared to share any pictures. 2, can we even talk? Give me some credit, please. I did share a lot with you, but you are really interested in the corrupt Fame Up case for murder?
First of all, let me just cut you off there real quick. Randall, you've shared way too much.
Right?
Like, you've shared way too much. Way too much. You started out exposing yourself to people. You've shared way too much.
Narcissist.
Yeah. Okay.
Narcissist.
Continue.
So it says, I did share a lot with you, but are you really interested in the corrupt framed up case for murder? You became upset with my first reply. You didn't even ask about it. So what's up with that? Tim showed me your letter, and it sounds like you've written to me earlier? ? No letters reached me. So I just, in all caps, assume.
I mean, you know what they say about people assuming. Makes an ass out of you and me.
I've never heard that.
You haven't heard that?
No.
Makes an ass
like
out
it,
of
though.
you. Okay.
I like it. Now I know how to spell assume.
There you go.
All right, so to continue the letter, he says, at least you acknowledge I'm not a weak person.
Okay.
Thank you. But will I ever really know who you are? I'm sorry you expected more in my response. You have no idea how much abuse and ridicule I get from fiction writers. And the sad part is my civil lawsuit was not accepted after 2 years.
Poor baby.
What a discrimination we have in our so-called justice system.
Okay.
Now to relieve your fears, I'm not having an investigator follow you. But will that be the only way I get to see who you are? Just curious is all.
God.
No comments about the pics I sent you? ? No questions about anything? Just angry responses, Jen?
Okay.
I apologize for the wisecracks. I was just wondering why you wrote them.
He's apologizing about his wisecracks?
Yeah.
Well, we saw way too many of your cracks, so.
Ew. He says, I was just wondering why I'm picturing it now. I can't. I don't want to. Get it out of my head. All right. So
well,
he
this
says,
this is an expose, so.
An expose?
Expose. Okay, that's my dad joke for this episode.
Oh, you've already had one of those.
And the
Cutting
other
you
one.
off now.
Okay, cool.
All right, so, where was I? Oh, I was just wondering why you wrote Tim and didn't say why or even answer me. Care to explain? Cute phrase you used. Mickey flipping me off.
Okay.
What does it even? See, I'm not that smart after all.
No.
And he put in parentheses, smile.
Well, you're really not that smart because I'm looking at this letter and he spelled several things wrong.
Oh, yeah. And I left it like that, too, so you can just see. He says, can we now communicate both ways? You answering my questions, too? You know about quid pro quo, right?
Oh, God.
I don't know what that is.
Quid pro quo is basically, correct me if I'm wrong, any listeners, but from what I remember is quid pro quo, a basic explanation of quid pro quo is like if you're in the workplace, for example, you do something for me, I do something for you. Quid pro quo could be used in like a sexual harassment case, for example. You will get, the quid pro quo would be like, you will get promoted if you suck my dick. That's an example.
Okay.
So.
All right. Sicko. But apparently he knows that. All right. So he goes on to say, I just like to feel more at ease with you. A total stranger picking my brains here? Ha. I see you smiling. Let's start over here and don't be so reactionary, and I won't either.
Okay.
And how about pen and paper letters now and then just to be more personal? May I have a photo of you, please? No stalking or following you ever. My word is my bond, too. Ciao.
Oh, God.
Randall.
What a disgusting little man.
So, Randy is serving his sentences at the Oregon State Penitentiary in Salem. In October of 1983, he was injured by a fellow inmate during a prison disturbance.
Oh, baby.
Yeah, boo-hoo.
Poor baby.
No, I don't really care. So, in April of 1987, Asshat filed a $12 million libel suit against author Anne Rule.
Really?
The author who had written The I-5 Killer. The account of Crapbag's life and crime spree began a best-selling book in 1984.
Good.
So, federal court in Oregon dismissed the lawsuit in January of 1988.
Good.
Citing that the statute of limitations on such a lawsuit had expired.
Anne Rule rules.
Yeah, she does.
Yeah.
And in 1990, sadly came with the discovery of even more victims.
Oh, man.
And Randall, who was suspected in as many 44 homicides.
Wow.
Yeah. In 2001 and 2006, DNA testing linked him to 2 additional murders in Oregon that occurred sometime between 1980 and 1981.
Just wow.
Remember when you were saying that women seem to be attracted to creepy men?
Yeah.
Well, hold on to your rectal opening because during his time in the penitentiary, Randall has married 3 times and divorced twice.
Wow. I love how frustrated you sounded, but that does cement my point. Also, at this point, I'm looking at pictures of him. He does have really kind features. I'm not trying to say that he's attractive. I mean, he's not a bad-looking person, but now I'm seeing why people are misled by him. But to that point, it's really important to always just trust your fucking gut. Don't go off of face value ever. Just because someone looks kind doesn't mean they are. There's a whole other vibe he gives off, especially in the pictures. It's like he's trying to look innocent, but you can tell he's not. He has this darkness behind those phony kind features. So people, trust your gut.
Activia.
This was a shitstorm of an episode.
Oh, ending quote time. You ready?
Go for it.
I walk around like everything is fine, but deep down inside my shoe, my sock is sliding off.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. That is just bravo. That is super profound.
I know. I know it's deep.
Oh, man. I'm guessing that's a Bible verse.
Quoted by Jesus himself, man.
Okay.
Actually, I'm kidding.
Okay.
That's one of those unknown quotes you randomly find on the internet.
Those are the best because they're unintentionally profound. Like, how shitty is it when your sock slips off as you're walking around? Oh, that rhymed. Hold on. Those are the best because they're unintentionally profound. And I'm not going to even try. No.
It's too many long words in a row.
Too many. We don't word well.
We don't word well. Apparently, Amanda doesn't speak well today either.
Sorry, well, neither does Courtney, and we're both speaking in third person, and that's great. So it's fine.
So tune in next week because Courtney and I have a special surprise for everyone.
At this point, it's not much of a surprise because I can't just shut up about it, but we will be sharing an episode with another badass podcast. So Merry Christmas and stay tuned. But in the meantime, don't be a dick.
And wear deodorant. Also, don't oil yourself up for pictures and then send them to Playboy.
Also, don't show your dick. And if you do, put your dick back. Okay, bye.
Bye. Thank you so much for listening to A Nefarious Nightmare.
Music used in this podcast is by Ghost Stories Incorporated.
You can find their music on bandcamp.com.
Do you need merch, the latest episodes, our social media profiles, or just to say hi?
You can find all of that and more at www.anefariousnightmare.com.
Thank you so much for listening.
And take care, y'all.